So this is the first essay in the book after the introduction. And it was actually composed a long time ago, shortly after 9/11. And I wrote it, and it's called Letter to a G-Man. And I've since discovered, by the way, that anybody who's under the age of like 40 has no idea what a G-Man is. People here know what a G-Man is? It's G standing for government, yeah. But it was an FBI agent, yeah? Okay, so letter to an FBI agent. I'm showing my age, okay. Let me ask you something. Have you heard the story of the vizier's son? His father, the minister, had offended the ruler, and so he and his family were imprisoned for a very long time. So long, in fact, that the son knew only prison life. He reached the age of reason shortly after his release, and one night at dinner asked his father about the meat he had been eating. "It's lamb," said the father. The son then asked the father, "What is lamb?" The father described the animal to the son, to which the son replied, "Do you mean it is like a rat?" "No," said the father. "What have lambs to do with rats?" And the same continued then with cows and camels. For you see, the son had seen only rats in prison. He knew no other animal. You may be wondering why I begin this brief correspondence with such a story, but I beg your indulgence. There will be time for all things. Suffice to say, as the son shows us, confinement defeats the imagination. Call it arrested development, if you will, but if you are forced to stay put, how can you discover the delicacy of lamb, sprinkled generously with garlic and massaged with allspice, roasting over an open flame? Perhaps you can almost taste it now. Yes, the mind wanders, and the wanderer's mind, well, expands, you could say. But without knowledge or history or experience, the son could learn of these things only once it was too late. I hope it's not too late for you and for me. You see, I fear that you have become like the son. You believe only what you already know, see only what you want to see, but you must ask yourself how you understand these things. I have been told that you have arrested hundreds of us and seek to question thousands more. I imagine you are looking for me. So you see how it's like still contemporary. You are concerned, naturally, after the 11th of September, as we all are. I, too, watched the towers fall, as did everybody I know, with a tear in my eye and the air stuck hard in my lungs. Who could have imagined such malefaction? I prayed for the people lost in those towers, just as I have since prayed for the innocents everywhere, my benedictions sounding like Walt Whitman's brassy cornet and drums, which, as he said, play marches for conquered and slayed persons. Didn't we all suffer on that terrible day, the families of the dead most of all? The city was in mourning with its gaping wound right there on the skin of lower Manhattan. And here I'm going to tell you something I presume you do not know. This is almost the exact same spot where, just over a century ago, the first of our extended Arab family came to this country. Have you ever wondered how Cedar Street got its name? I cannot tell you precisely, but I like to think it was because on Cedar Street, the Lebanese merchants from Zahli would sell you milk as sweet as honey and honey as rich as cream. We came first for the 1867 World's Fair, then began arriving in larger numbers. Until in the 1890s, we were living busily between Greenwich, Morris, Rector, and Washington Streets. By the early part of the 20th century, our community expanded, reaching from Cedar Street on the north to Battery Place on the south. The western border was no less than West Street, and to the east, Trinity Place. But the center of our world was always Washington Street, a lane now blocked by emergency vehicles and 10-foot fences. To us, Washington Street was never just a street. It was our America. After passing through Ellis Island, we would trudge up Manhattan Island with our weathered bags, looking for a friendly face in all the frenetic energy of New York, until we could hear a little Arabic and smell the food from home, knowing that on a street named for an American, we had found Little Syria. Thank you very much. So I'm happy to sign books if you would like.